I'll do it again. Do it again. Gotta take you high. Yeah. Oh, man. Brother. All right, welcome to the show tonight. Just drop it in here real quick. Pro Se Lawsuit Center. You can find our stuff over at winningcourtnow.com, where we have the fire that you need. Okay, so we're not even gonna start. I'm just gonna tell you now that I've had to dumb down what I'm going to talk about, because they like YouTube and Facebook. Oh, we're not going to stream all that. You can leave us out of that stream. Okay. We can still talk about what we want to talk about. Well, we just ain't gonna make a big deal about it up front. All right, so we got a situation that's been going on over in Sedona, Arizona, and I had opportunity to be directly involved with what's going on over there in Sedona, Arizona. And, well, let's just start with the new that nobody knows about yet and work our way back to what they know about. Okay? Because what they don't know about yet is the new lawsuit package. Well, this is the lawsuit from that package. And this document right here is the document on the website to remove yourself from their corporate fiction. Everybody told me helping people stop foreclosures. Everybody telling yeah. People told me that you're never going to get out of the crazy house once they. Oh wait, then they sent me back with a forced medication order. Oh no, no. Well, I'm not there, and thank God I didn't have to go through that. But it wasn't because I went and sat the hell down. Oh hell no! It wasn't because I went and sat the hell down. That's for sure. Okay, so I got these attorneys that try to get in the way when you're helping people learn how to punch them in the face. Excuse me. When you're helping people learn how to protect their property, and we're working on blocking the, we're here in the ring tonight, the people's ring tonight, because then I got my throwaway glasses on, so that's what we're going to be when we feel like we need to go to federal court. Okay, that's what we're going to be taking to federal court, because that package is totally off the chain. I spent a lot of time working on it, and it's a complaint for constitutional identity fraud and defamation, false arrest, false imprisonment. I threw that in because I could, just in case somebody was locked up in prison or whatever. Actual reality of it is your ass is in prison. You are. Okay. If they're coming after you for 9 or 10 years, like they did this young lady over here, you're in a prison. That's just my opinion. You're in a prison. And you'll understand why if you watch the rest of the videos, they jam you up for some sorry ticket, and then they add charges, and now you're looking at some criminal charges, so you got to trust this attorney that they give you because you don't have and then that attorney obviously throws you under the bus. So now you got criminal charges, And now you're paying restitution and jumping through all those hoops based off of statutes and codes that aren't valid laws. I'm just throwing it out there. They're not valid laws. The attorney knows that. The attorney's ass knows that they're going after the corporate fiction person, whatever they want to call it, the corporate fiction of you, the all capital letters, not the real you, but you're not that smart and they're able to do the stuff they do. So this, and I've been working on something for a long time to the one thing. The one thing. Okay, so constitutional identity fraud, because they had their fake person of you that they stood in and did all that stuff, defamation because they lied and said you did all these terrible things. Okay, there were all their statutes and codes that they made to do what they're doing to you. False imprisonment if you was locked up, or if you ended up locked up from getting PTSD, from dealing with the stress of worrying about them coming to your house every morning to throw your shit out in the yard. Or wait, if you're worried about them harassing you in court when you go to file your stuff and they tell you we can't file, we can't do, whatever. Yeah, there's a new lawsuit package on the website for that too. It's called Clerk's Trap. I may need to change the name, but it's on sale right now. And I made it, and it's addressing. I'm not going to get to the end of this, but that's all right because we on fire. I made it, and I have it right here. I filed it. I made it for myself. Oh, y'all ass know that we ain't playing. No, I made it for myself. Right there. Coach and neighbors, they didn't want to do the coach part. I made it for myself. Professional defamation. I'm standing with my customer, and they're telling me that I can't file a supplemental pleading. Oh no, we can file a supplemental pleading. Why can't we file a supplemental pleading? No, you can't file a supplemental pleading. Well, if you are we talking about the Federal Rule Civil Procedure, or are we talking about the local rule? Oh, she don't want to talk to me no more. Maybe I didn't say that shit right. I don't know. But this is what they made me do to the pleading. They made me chop it up. They made me turn it into a amended complaint, which means now the judge gets to rule on it and throw it out. That's why we don't even do that. That we don't do the conventional shit. She made me take the judge's name off up here. And so I just put EETL to include everybody anyway. And she got really freaking mad. And then, she had the defendant wasn't in the right place. So I just wrote it. I just whipped out my pen and started writing shit because it ain't my first rodeo. And when I got all done, you can see over here on this side, I signed, initial it, and Julie signed it and initialed it. And the people's mouths, the two, the supervisor clerk, Miss Heather, who's included in the lawsuit, and Judge Wallace. Well, Judge Wallace wasn't there. It was Miss Heather and the clerk, the regular clerk, the downset clerk. Yeah, they looked at us really funny. And they figured out something was up. My friend Julie, she just kind of smiled because she could, when we started to walk away later, she said, "You did a check down." They have more power than a notary. So if they're going to make me change my stuff, I'm going to write in the shit they want me to change it to, and then I'm going to sign it. And like date it or something. I don't know. I might make a little note. They're screwing with me. And then I asked them for a copy. Now, I wanted a copy of the whole document, but they didn't bring me that. They brought me back a copy of the front page. And then a week or so later, when I got home and I started going through all the paperwork and getting it all lined up in the notebook binders in the chronological order for the first filing all the way up to the last filing. So when you open the notebook binder, you're looking at the last filing right there on the top, or any notes that I use sticky notes that I put on. Oh, and when I looked at the notebook binder, this is what they gave Julie. It should have had this on it. Should have been the same document, because she was filing a supplemental pleading to add the Judge Wallace, to her RICO lawsuit. That's actually, the RICO lawsuit is on sale on the website right now. Okay, it's for $500. It's actually a RICO mandamus package, but I haven't got all the other stuff in it yet. I've been a little busy. But if you invest in it, you get the actual lawsuit, and I'll send you the other documents here in another day or so when I get them loaded up. Okay, but yeah, this is what it's supposed to look like. This one, they took the whole heading off. Now, if I tried to file something like that without the whole heading, are you kidding me right now? And then they didn't give her a stamp part of it like they gave me. They separated. I guess they wanted to put it together later. Well, I did. But we're already going after them for that. The problem that we have now is, I'm going to just go through and show you what we're doing. The problem that we have now is we filed the RICO case over in Prescott in the big court. They want to send it back over here to these other players. Why is that? I think because the big court don't want to be responsible for these other people. I don't know. Maybe they're full with their own. I don't know. I do know they charged $148 to file a counterclaim in a case that's already open. I think we get stuck on the wrong rules. Okay, but so they sent the case over to Yavapai County to Judge Wallace, who is a judge that's been terrorizing everybody over there already, giving everybody's property away or whatever. And that's not where we filed it. So we got to doing our research, and it turns out the court can't move the case judicially without a court order from the judge and without the parties hashing it out and figuring it out. That's the way it's supposed to be. But people don't do all that homework, because everybody just, no. We're not doing that. So we did the homework. Okay, so we go back the next day to file the lawsuit against the clerk, but we went on to the big court because we don't want to deal with them fools over there in Camp Verde, Arizona. We didn't want to deal with them at Yavapai County in Camp Verde. Okay, so we went over there, and so we filed a couple of things. And when I was all done, I went and filed a document to change the venue, to move it back over to where we filed it in the first place. And the supervisor, oh wait, there was a order filed in the case. What? It was going like one day. What kind of order in one day? Let's pulls up the order. And order that was filed in the case was ordering the case to be moved another 125, an hour and a half, another 2 hours away. We're already an hour and 45 minutes, almost 2 hours away from her house. So they just moved it over there. Okay, wait a minute. The judge that we're suing moved it over there. They want to move it over there to, well, why would we let the judge we suing pick out where they're moving the shit to? I mean, I don't know. That doesn't seem like a very good idea to me. Okay, so Okay, but so here's the problem. The problem is the judge my phone's out of control. The judge has decided that she's going to do the eviction anyway. You know, we've got the documents filed over there. They sent them over there. They're sending them over there. And the whole time, but you know, we have we filed our we filed a temporary restraining order and preliminary injunction to stop the unlawful eviction process, and then we also filed a counterclaim today. Not the one that I showed you. We filed this new one right here. The illegal eviction counterclaim for RICO fraud, due process violations, and declaratory relief statement of constitutional emergency. So the statement of constitutional emergency forces them, according to their own rules or whatever, that they whatever, to move it up to the higher court, and the higher court is forced to strip away all of the administrative issues that pertain to the case, and they're only supposed to rule on, you know. And we filed for a Zoom hearing, and some people think when you do that, you're nutty. But I'm not in the state of Arizona right now, and so if they want to have a hearing, then we're going to have this already on the table so that I can talk during the hearing. And we also provided our proposed order granting the demand for the remote Zoom hearing. And then that way, anybody could attend if they want to, and they don't have to talk if they don't want to. And I'll be the one that's doing the talking. And we had one more thing here that I wanted to show. And that we filed. It's amazing how much power you have. If you get the right stuff together. And so we filed a demand to disqualify the judge. Mm-hmm. And we also added the constitutional statement. We also added constitutional statements to it. And for the attorney person that's trying to interfere and trying to harass my client and she actually they're trying to increase some fines or something from the past to make her give up. Well, we're going to be filing this in federal court when we take the other document to federal court. So I'll probably make this as a supplement to the other case, so I can file 2 cases, but it'd just be easier because he's going to end up in both of them. And he let me know today that the FBI was going to be talking to me. And I told him he can have the FBI call me if he wants to. If he wants, he can have them call down to the Missouri office, because that's the closest one, and ask for Bob Schaefer. Ask for Bob Schaefer, Robert R. Schaefer, the FBI agent down there. He's the one that investigated into all of the stuff that the Lawrence, Kansas Police Department lied about against my ex and I when we were together a long time ago. So and he came down to do an investigation and ran around, kissed everybody's butt. I'm blind. I ain't scared of the FBI. You know, what bothers me is thinking that I might just stand on my feet all day working at Walmart, because when I say y'all, I'm talking about the government. Cause us to lose our stuff and put us through all the hard. Okay, well, okay. What I'm scared of, I might someday stop enjoying doing this. This is like my therapy. Toe tagged in Kansas, which is deceased status. Oh, worldly assets confiscated. Welcome to the show at Brisket.911. That shit make me hungry. So we got some things filed. And it kind of all started out with that. They didn't like that. And then we filed it not in the Word or whatever. We filed it over there. They sent it over. And then we filed that too. Against them. So now we got a couple of things to do tomorrow. And you can't see that. That's the green card. I got that in the mail, showing that the agent for the players in both court, well, Yavapai County Court and Camp Verde, we haven't added anybody else that I'm aware of. Mr. Dennis McCrane has been served. We served him everybody's service, so we didn't have to play around with all these people trying to be smarter than me and act stupid and stuff. So he's the agent for all of them. He was served their service, and the other players should be getting their services now. The judge thinks that she's going to have her what she wants to do, but we already filed. To disqualify her because she's a party to the case. So, we'll see how it goes. I mean, usually if they try to do this eviction thing, they still give you 10 days to get your stuff out. So I don't worry too much about if they do. We just keep doing what we need to do. And the whole federal court situation is going to take control over everything that's going down here if we need to go there. We're ready. And then what we're going to do is we're going to use the entire state court docket sheet. A certified copy of the entire state court docket sheet as our. Now we're not even going to be talking about the little crap that they did in the beginning, whatever. Okay, because here's the problem: they're not going to be able to answer to anything that. They're not going to be able to answer to anything that got stuck in their face from winningcourtnow.com. They're not going to. And I'll tell you why. I'll make it, I'm just going to tell you. Because we use federal case law and federal acts in everything that we file. Federal case law, federal acts bring the criminal liability to the table for these fools. And they can't respond to federal case law or federal acts or Supreme Court case law with statutes and codes. Bam, check down. Their ass is still in the corner. They can't. They can't respond. We just start at the top again because I'm looking at brisket. I might have to go get me a snack while we wait for some more people. Welcome, Eddie. They can't respond to anything. And that's why we're in the people's ring right now. The attorney told me they was gonna call it, with the FBI. Dude, you wanna call the FBI? Kansas City office? I could look the number up for you. Okay? Ask for Bob Safer, okay, because his ass knows me. Apparently a lot of them know me, but I ain't never been convicted of nothing, and nor have I ever took the deal. You gotta throw that shit in when you're saying you ain't been convicted. You gotta throw that shit in that you didn't take the deal, okay? Because I'm checking out. I think there's one other document I wanted to show you. Okay, so the other thing they're going to find out pretty quick here is that when the video starts showing up. So my YouTube channel, I have it SEO'd in, so is the website. So anything I post on YouTube, it's if you have SEO, I've had my YouTube videos show up underneath, like Judge Annie T. Christoph. I have my YouTube. I show up underneath her. Yeah, underneath her. She's a federal judge in Tennessee, and my stuff showed up right underneath her website. That was pretty cool. So, okay, guys, I need to get off of here and get a few more things done and get. I got papers everywhere right now, so I need to get this stuff figured out. But that's what we got going. We got a new counterclaim filed today against the eviction process, and then we also have a legal malpractice breach of contract that put together for the attorneys. So I upgraded, dated that whole thing, and I added some other stuff to it. So I'm gonna put that on the website also for it's probably $75, so people can use it. The stuff that's supposed to be counterclaim, they ain't supposed to be charging you for it, but that's all right. Because they're gonna have some more problems here if they don't dismiss the sale of her property and drop all that nonsense. So I'm gonna call Mr. McCrane tomorrow, and we'll have him talk and see what he's got to say. Because at the end of the day, he's in the lawsuit too, so he's going to need to get an attorney. So if he wants to be, I'm going to need to know his attorney so I can communicate with. So I can communicate with his counsel. That's what I'm supposed to be doing. Okay. Let's see how they like it. Okay, guys. Thank you guys for the value, sharing your time. And I'll see you guys in the next live stream. Bam! Maybe we'll be in the people's ring again. I also want to invite Mr. Lanahan. You're welcome to come on down. Send me an email. I'll send you a link, and you can just talk from wherever you're at. You're going to explain to everybody why you think I need that I need to talk to the FBI. Like, that shit is going to scare me. Are you freaking kidding me right now? The FBI is standing their ass out in the front yard all they want to. Shit, if they showed up, they can talk to me through the window. I can guarantee you they ain't gonna like what I freaking have to say. So you might just have them save a trip of driving all the way the hell down there and have them call me. But don't have Bob Saver call me because I still got his number. I ain't gonna show him my phone and I ain't gonna answer his ass. But I'll talk to the rest of them. Oh yeah, see ATF too. You can have them fools over there call me from the ATF if you want to. I'm scared of the FBI. You gotta be kidding me right now. Later, guys. It's time to eat a snack and eat a snack and hit the sack or something like that. Thank you guys for showing up. Everybody should resubscribe to my channel so that you see when I go live. And we're moving over to Odyssey. As soon as we get our stuff over there, we're gonna be over there doing our main stuff. YouTube's been jacking me around, and it's so funny. A day and a half ago, I connected my Odyssey to the YouTube shit. Thank you, Eddie. I got one video posted over on Odyssey, and I connected my stuff to the YouTube shit, and then all of a sudden YouTube is showing my shit. I got a video made $5.66. See, that shit should have been happening a year and a half ago. These people have been screwing me over. So now over there, they have they're looking out for your freedom of speech. Okay, so they're not going to be shutting you down because you said RICO foreclosure defense. Yeah, TikTok. Yeah, but that's all right. That's all right because if you're willing to do whatever it takes, you'll find another way to get shit done. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm getting hungry, so I got to roll.